which promised job security. The alternatives were low-paid portering, or tea plucking, or common labouring. Furatemba wanted to be a musician, but his railway job has given his family security and allowed his son Sapan to get an education and to think beyond the railways.
जब उले एल्बम निकाल्दैछ अडियो भिडियो गर्दैछ जो शौक उनीहरूले गर्दैछ त्यो मैले भनिहालेँ पहिल्यै दिनको हामीलाई इच्छा थियो शौक थियो त्यहाँ पाइन शौक पाएन जो चाहिँ उनीहरूले गर्दैछ त्यो चाहिँ एकदमै मलाई सुटेबल एकदमै मलाई मन परेको छ.
Over the last year, Darjeeling has developed a vibrant music scene thanks to a local boy winning the national TV talent contest, Indian Idol. Sapan and his band Aradra, named after a constellation, have their sights set on stardom with their soft rock ballad, I Don't Like You.
एउटा अब मान्छेको सबैभन्दा ठुलो चाहिँ एउटा आइडेन्टिटी हुन्छ हैन. म्युजिक भिडियो चाहिँ हामीले एउटा आफूलाई चिन्ने हैन परिचय गर्ने हामी के हो हैन.
Sapan wants to establish his Gurkha identity through his band and his music. But as the eldest son, he has to think about his duty to the family too.
लाइफ नै म्युजिकमै बित्छ भनेपछि म म्युजिकमै गर्छु हैन. अब यदि अब म्युजिकको अब यहाँ त स्कोपै छैन हैन. त्यो भएर नहुँदाखेरि चाहिँ अब यदि त्यतापट्टि अब अलिक स्कोप छैन भने त अब मलाई अब कर लाग्छ यतापट्टि नै जानु रेलवेपट्टि नै हैन.
In the mist-covered hills of Darjeeling, isolated from the rest of the world, the elections are imminent. At a time of great changes, even life on the railway is no longer the great constant. Nima was forced to compromise his spiritual calling. But at least the railway has allowed him to fulfill his duties as the eldest son. Trackmate Pemba's eldest son, Bachan, is trying for a place in the Gurkha regiment. With jobs on the railway harder than ever to find, he believes the army is his best bet. As dusk falls at Darjeeling station, Sita is waiting for the last train, but she's also waiting for Madhu's exam results. The majority of Gurkhas believe an independent state of Gorkhaland would give them a better future. And tomorrow, they vote. Darjeeling is a constituency of over 1 million voters, and they're expecting an 80% turnout in the hills today. Indian elections have been called the biggest exercise in democratic franchise ever held in world history. More than 700 million voters will vote in 1 million polling stations. And up and down the DHR, even railway stations are pressed into election service. Harry is voting early because he has to be on duty today, and as a person running an essential service, he's allowed to jump the long queue. Every voter has to have an election photo identity card, and every name and photo is on the electoral list.
जरूरी है अभी वोट देने के लिए, क्योंकि हम लोग का यहाँ अभी बंगाल में है ना, इसलिए हम लोग बंगाल से सेपरेट होने के लिए अभी चाह रहे हैं ना गोरखा लोग.
To ensure that everyone gets just one vote, one finger is painted with indelible ink. But behind a screen, India employs the very latest voting technology to cast and count the votes. Although it will take a month for all 700 million voters in India to cast their votes, they can all be counted in a single day.
इसका मतलब एक मुठ एकजुट होके हम लोग को वोट देना है.
Once voting is over, Darjeeling gets back to its main interest, tourism. In the tourist season, Harry and Bishnu have 2 extra trains to fire up. And it's an opportunity to bring the DHR much needed cash. DHR was the engineering prototype for the other Indian hill railways in Ooty and Shimla. But everybody's come here to enjoy the romance and the excitement of a real steam train. A train which climbs 7,000 feet in 52 miles. The DHR, like all Indian railways, is state-owned, and its passenger services are heavily subsidized. Yet it still loses money. Today, the DHR faces an uncertain future. The worry is that to survive, the train will simply become an amusement ride. And if that happens, it may lose its place at the heart of this community. There was a time when authorities planned to scrap the DHR. But thanks to a vociferous local protest and petitions by train enthusiasts around the globe, it was formally declared a World Heritage Site in 1999, and its future seemed assured. While the overhauling of engine 788 is almost complete, there are worrying developments on the shop floor. The authorities have decided to turn some part of the workshop into a diorama for the tourists, and not everyone is happy.
यहाँ तो हम अभी तो लग रहा है ये तो क्या हम लोग पशु हो गया, म्यूजियम तो हो गया। अब बोलेगा बाहर का आदमी भीतर का आदमी काम नहीं करेगा, म्यूजियम हो गया बोलेगा। जितना भी हम लोग भीतर में काम करेगा वही नहीं सोचेगा, अब बाहर का आदमी लोग तो सोचेगा म्यूजियम बनाया, अब 2-3 दिन का बाद में ये सब देखेगा, फिर सोचेगा काम ही नहीं कर रहा है। हाँ, हम लोग मुरमेट के काम कर रहे हैं।
Trackmate Pemba Lama and his family live beside the railway track in subsidized railway quarters. They're up at dawn every day, Pemba to the railway and eldest son Bachan for training in the hills. Breakfast for Bachan is a protein drink of milk and raw eggs, dutifully made by his mother. But today is different. It's recruitment day in Darjeeling. The Indian Army is screening for admission to India's own Gurkha regiment, and Bachan will be just one of 10,000 hopefuls chasing 200 places. The entry test for the Gurkha regiment is a demanding process. You must prove that you are between 17 and 21 years old. Then you're expected to pass a timed series of